Welcome back to Misadventures Recap, and I hope you like server lore and chaos because this episode is going to be absolutely overflowing with it. We've got Martin, Scott, and Avid rocking out in the Milky Speakeasy.
Okay, he's getting on the table.
We've got Jojo having a tough time with the Infernal Feline.
You are being completely unhelpful right now, Infernal Feline. I want you to speak to me like I am 4 years old.
And we've got Avid starting his video with something a bit strong.
You know, oh my gosh! What is in that? That's not coffee. That's not coffee.
Let's not waste any time at all and get straight into this week's recap. But before we do, make sure you subscribe right now to stay up to date on everything Minecraft Misadventures. Let's recap.
Scott finds Avid rummaging around in an alleyway before meeting with Jimmy to conquer the new Infernal Descent dungeon. The Watchmaster sends them east where they find Maeve's cottage. Or maybe it should be Martin's cottage.
Welcome, travelers!
Oh, we've got a narrator.
What is going on?
While Avid is crawling into fireplaces and Jimmy speaks with Maeve, Scott starts reading the books scattered around the cottage. They complete their quests for Maeve and gain access to her basement. Once Jimmy finally realized books have more than one page, they solve the elixir puzzle and entered the dungeon. They loot various books, find new fire cards and an enchanted infernal apple, before Avid shows them the lava geysers he coded himself. The geysers are used to reach a secret passageway above the dangerous dungeon floor, as well as give access to a couple more loot chests. They make their way deeper into the dungeon, where Scott finds the infernal library key. He finds several sacrifice pedestals, but doesn't have any of the items needed to donate. They eventually make their way to the final boss room and defeat Maeve Emberheart. Still not knowing what the infernal apple does or where the library is, they leave those mysteries for next time. Scott returns to his ruined cultist portal to showcase the new additions, starting with the cult member mobs that drop crying obsidian. The room under the portal is now full of lore books written by members of his Twitch community. After lighting all the candles, a secret entrance opens, leading him deeper underground. He finds more cultists and books, as well as a small amethyst cave. After realizing he's trapped underground, he lights more candles which spawn even more cultists. He loots various purple blocks from the scattered barrels and mentions the chance of finding a very cute collectible. He finally finds a hidden button and is able to escape. He then returns to Maeve's cottage to take on the Infernal Descent again, this time alone. He finds the Infernal library key and an Infernal music disc fragment. He donates a magma block and a fire charge which open up bonus loot rooms. This time he finds the library and the Infernal Feline, who Scott then for some reason decides to sing for.
Hopped off the plane at LAX with the dream in my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Woo! Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in a cab here for the first time. Looked to my right and I see a little cat.
He vows to return and rescue the cat one day, but moves on to the boss room. But during the fight, Maeve had spawned in so many magma cubes that the entire server crashed. With his music disc fragment, he meets with Avid and Martin, who collectively put together their 9 fragments to make the full infernal disc. Even the cow is waiting in anticipation as Martin plays the track.
The gas sounds are great, and this actually sounds like it would fit the game.
Ethereal?
Wow.
That was so good.
Whilst in Maryport, Scott checks his reputation with Molly and finds he has a score of 657. He vows to continue the sheep quest grind even off camera, determined to find a secret rainbow sheep mount.
Martin thinks it's about time to start putting up some missing posters as his loyal steed Dennis Nibblewood is still missing. He heads to the post office to complete his mailman tasks and notices an incredibly sweet note from Lizzie to Joel regarding their date night on the server last week. We also get some insights into the stamp system, which is going to be very interesting to see developed. Martin finally shows off the recipe for the Infernal Elixir, arguably the most important part of getting into the new dungeon, and the ingredients are as follows: 1 glistening melon slice, 1 melon slice, 1 glass bottle, 1 fire coral, 1 lava bucket, 1 bucket of tadpole, and a powder snow bucket. Some of these ingredients do seem hard to come by, however there's potential that you'll be able to fish up fire coral at certain hotbod fishing locations. However, for now, Martin grabs his infernal music fragments that he's been grinding and heads to Maryport to meet Avid and Scott. Avid has 4 fragments and Scott has 1, meaning between them that they can make the infernal music disc. And with the top 40 hot hit created, it was time to give it a listen.
Oh, it's jazzy.
Flirt.
I was about to say this is very Undertale-esque, but it's suddenly got some funk to it.
Whoa!
Oh my god, yes.
Martin now only has one advancement left in the Infernal Descent dungeon, and that's to earn the trust of the Infernal Librarian. Avid have found out how to earn the trust, and it's via a quest given by the Librarian to slay 1,000 Wither Skeletons. We then see Martin time-lapse his new build, which is the home of the Faction Isles radio. We even then get some teasers of some jingles from the upcoming radio station.
Have a listen to this.
From the docks of Maryport, all the way to Orchidea, this is Faction Isles Radio.
How cool is that?
This is going to be a legitimate radio show that will last about 2 hours each time, and Martin will have guests on as well. I can safely say that we're super excited to see this get up and running. The episode is wrapped up with a tour of the boat and the view from the international waters, as well as Martin asking for who you'd all like to see as the first guest on Faction Isles Radio.
Shelby meets with Drift, Avid, and Cleo to explore some of the new additions to the server, starting with Scott's ruined cultist portal. After a very bloody battle with the cultists, they read the Archmage logbook and decide to take the tour on a more peaceful route. They visit Avid's base and his beetle, which I'm not sure is that much more peaceful.
I'm sure that's...
Hopefully it resets.
There we go!
Uh-oh. That's my cue to lead.
The tour continues to Drift's parkour tower and Lizzie's crystal hollow. Shelby catches and cooks her first axolotl, but refuses to eat it in fear that Lizzie is keeping track like she did with Molly's sheep. Feeling a little more brave than before, the group decide to take on the new Infernal Descent dungeon. Avid points out a brown axolotl at the start of the dungeon, and he thinks it has something to do with unlocking a new mount, so Shelby decides to kill it.
That was really painful to watch.
I didn't like
How do you
doing it at
feel?
all. Really bad, really awful.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna get punished for that.
Avid leads them through the dungeon and into the library. After trying to scratch the infernal feline's chin, they find it now has a quest to kill 1,000 Wither Skeletons. They move on to the boss room and summon Maeve Emberheart, but Cleo dies and Shelby joins them shortly after. Back in the comfort of her carnival home, she builds an adorable snail teapot ride, or as she calls it, the Sneepot. She tours the finished build featuring mushroom teacups, and then teases plans for the upcoming projects, asking for suggestions in the comments for any functional ride ideas that can exist within Minecraft.
Jojo kicks things off by highlighting a rather rocky relationship with the infernal feline, and also accepting the quest to earn the cat's trust. Jojo wastes no time and gets to work on the quest with an incredible kill montage. The montage, however, is cut short as Jojo tells us it takes about 4 hours to kill 1,000 Wither Skeletons. Now that is one heck of a grind. But she now only has 10 golden carrots left, meaning she's taking on these perilous mobs on hard mode. However, being the absolute gamer that Jojo is, she finally completes the quest.
300 coins. That's all I get. And I get 1,500 Misadventures XP. That's it? No offense, but that's it?
When returning to the infernal feline, who still seems a bit rude, let's be honest, Jojo is now asked to bring the cat some sweet rose wine. Is there going to be an entire questline to earn the trust of this NPC? Luckily, Jojo will find out for us. After a bit of a mission finding the library key, Jojo returns to the feline and gets yet another quest.
64 cooked axolotls? Guys, thank you so much for watching the stream. Yeah, this was live streamed to Twitch, and yes, I rage quit at this point.
With a slight lack of knowledge in the Misadventures axolotl department, Jojo wastes 30 minutes fishing during the day before realizing they only spawn at night, as well as assuming the axolotls must be caught in buckets. However, after all the time spent mining, she figures out she needs a rod, not a bucket, to gather all these axolotls, and after cooking a bunch of them ready for the quest, realizes she only needs to consume 25 cooked axolotls and not 64. After all the time invested in this quest already, Jojo returns to the infernal feline only to be asked to find proof of the headless Duke's demise. Rightfully confused by who this Duke even is, Jojo asks the feline some questions and finds out he resides in the haunted ruins of Moonshadow Castle. Where is Moonshadow Castle, you may ask? Well, it's in the Enchanted Forest, of course. Oh, you want to know where the Enchanted Forest is? Well, it's obviously shrouded from mortal eyes and hidden beyond the Veil of Illusion. I'm gonna say it now, okay, if these are the level of quests we can expect in Misadventures as it continues to evolve, we're in for a very good time. Jojo proceeded to spend 2 hours traipsing the entire server in search for clues, but unfortunately came up empty. So then it was time to call in the backup. Bring in Martin. They start by getting Martin up to speed by fishing up axolotls. However, Jojo notices something wrong with his face in the process.
Hey, your eyeballs look very cursed. Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that today. Do you have the blinking thing or no?
I do have the blinking thing, and alas, you look, beautiful.
With Martin up to speed, the ideas start flowing. Could it be related to the cultist portal? Or could it be a tombstone in the Lost Crypt? They decided to start with the cultist portal and search for any clues there, and even stumbled into a secret amethyst tunnel that we've seen before. Unfortunately, they found nothing helpful, and Jojo decided if there was anything useful at the Riverwood Hamlet, which there wasn't. So now it's time for the Lost Crypt. Jojo jumps in and immediately starts working through the tombstones, until this happens.
Oh my gosh.
After finally finding the clue, she runs back to the infernal feline and asks if they need any help. And given that the quest is for slaying 1,000 wither skeletons, it would appear Jojo had completed the entire questline. So now all that was left was to check if she had befriended the feline.
Are we friends? How are you doing this fine day? One does not simply converse with an infernal feline. Watch your step, misadventurer. Still, I am not respected by this infernal feline.
And with that, the quest of befriending the infernal feline continues.
fWhip begins his episode by building Scott's custom acacia tree in Soulspire, then cuts to footage of him helping Lizzie in the incredibly dangerous Pale Oak Forest.
Should I get the heart? I don't get the heart.
Oh, I know.
He swings by Drift's parkour tower and gets his first lawn shard, and then announces his newest build project, the Road Builders Guild Hall. He clears an area on the hill by the recruitment office, but then cuts to footage of him and Sausage taking on the Infernal Descent dungeon. fWhip finds the library key and a 4 of Fire card before dying to wither skeletons. They craft another potion and try again. This time, things go much better. They summon Maeve Emberheart and defeat her with ease, earning the fastest time on the duo's dungeon leaderboard. If you want to see more uncut runs of the dungeon, he plugs his live streams where he is slowly chipping away at the quest to kill 1,000 wither skeletons. He then cuts back to the Road Builders Guild Hall project, terraforming the hill and adding the start of a grand bridge that will lead to the gatehouse entrance. With such close proximity to the Infernal Descent dungeon entrance, he leaves a space for some vending machines that will help misadventurers in case they happen to forget some key elixir ingredients. He adds some graffiti to the bridge and then builds the vending machines. He explains exactly how the machine works, so for those interested in Redstone, I highly recommend you go and watch for yourself. With 4 vending machines complete, he moves on to the gatehouse time-lapse. He tours the finished build and asks for some guild building suggestions in the comments.
Avid definitely has an interesting start to his episode this week with his mystery coffee, but quickly goes to check the newspaper to see what's new on the server, and something definitely catches his eye.
JoJo's broke now, yeah, speedrunning challenge. What is this?
It's finally time for us to see Avid take on the Infernal Descent dungeon. However, he's completely clueless on how to even find it and get in. So he decides to team up with Scott in Maryport. And while on the way there, Avid notices that fWhip has finished building the road and bridges to link up the areas. Avid arrives in Maryport and meets Scott and Jimmy, who is also joining in on the adventure, and they get some information from the Watchmaster of the dungeon's whereabouts. They quickly stumbled upon Maeve's cottage, where they find Martin, and Avid is instantly drawn to a certain fireplace that has claimed the lives of many misadventurers already.
I appreciate the fact that...
No, you shan't touch the flames.
It looks like there's a pathway back there.
Fine, touch the flames. Please.
Just touch them? Is it that
yeah,
easy?
Just get a little flicker.
Do I keep going? They hurt. Ah!
After speaking to Maeve, the group got different quests, so they each head off to get the required materials and plan to meet back at the cottage. Avid's quest for poppies is quite easy, so he's even able to complete it multiple times. However, he then shows us a cool trick using F3B to see what objects are right-clickable, and from this decides he's going to need to find some ingredients. That thought is cut short as Avid finds out he's able to get into the basement due to his newly found friendship with Maeve, and in said basement finds clues to all the ingredients he needs to gather. With the ingredients gathered and the party at the cottage, they make the infernal elixir and make their way into the dungeon's entrance. Amidst all the chaos of blazes and wither skeletons, Avid actually tells us that he helped create the lava geysers found in the dungeon. This is a super nerdy part of the video that we absolutely love, and if you also like command blocks, then make sure to go check out this video. They continue running through the dungeon and find the infernal library key, take on a giant horde of wither skeletons, and tackle the chain parkour. Finally, they arrive at the boss room and the fight begins. Avid even tries putting on the moves with Maeve and, well...
Look at her, she's gorgeous! Hey, you wanna go on a date later? Oh, I'll take it as a no!
After an intense battle with the boss, they defeated Maeve, they left the dungeon, and they said their farewells. That's it for this week's Misadventures recap. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like and subscribe, but most importantly, let us know down below what your favourite moments have been. We'll see you in the next recap.